Hey y'all, what's up? So yes, I am obviously pre-recording a lot for Traumatized Girlie because honestly the inspiration and everything is like hitting me as I'm talking, and I figured I would just go ahead and knock this video out because it's been popping up in the past couple of videos. So I want to actually address it and kind of break down a little bit more of what I meant so that we can have a talk, and honestly, like I can once again use myself as an example, okay? My previous self-concept was shit. And I didn't even realize it was shit. I'm a person, I've been in therapy off and on for like the past 10 years. It's gonna be 10 years very soon, I think towards the end of this year. And I still like, okay, self-esteem and things like that, all of that like correlates, but self-concept, like my identity, my old self-concept was shit. I like literally like I look back at how I previously operated and I'm like, oh my God. I was like spiraling and like overextending myself into like literal exhaustion and like feeling like never feeling like I was enough, never feeling like I had enough, always like operating out of lack, scarcity, like always angry because I'm operating out of lack and scarcity. It was like this whole like I honestly used to be one big cycle, but I used to cycle um in numerous ways, and it wasn't always one after the other, but it was in numerous like ways. And now it's like it's so weird because now I feel like it's like the outside looking in, and of course after working on myself for a while and really doing the work and finally breaking through, um y'all, I can't wait to share this with you. um but I have broken through some huge resistance internally, to where I literally like I am at a state of inner peace, and it's so amazing to be here. And I will trust and know that I will share that, when the time is right. But all of these things I used to do and how I used to operate are shit, to where I would even blow up. I would have outbursts because I would feel so stressed. And then it's like I'm feeling so stressed, I would feel overwhelmed. Then I would feel misunderstood. Then I'm feeling misunderstood and I'm feeling overwhelmed. And I'm feeling like, well, fuck you. Since you don't understand, fuck you. Get out my life. And it's like, it came from a lot of limiting beliefs around trust. But see, that's the thing. If I don't trust others, I don't trust myself, right? It's like nothing's ever outside of me, right? So if I'm feeling so mistrustful and sus of others, well, then doesn't that make me sus, right? Because others are a reflection of me. But before I could even understand this, I used to side-eye folks. I used to always be like looking and analyzing things in people to make me like honestly like push away from them and not have them too close. Or even starting off certain relationships or whatever, I wouldn't want to get too close because I would always be waiting for the next shoe to drop. As a person that's experienced a lot of traumas, especially in romantic relationships, even some friendships have been traumatic, and honestly even experiences from childhood, it's like unfortunately some beliefs that I picked up was that like people aren't trustworthy. And see, even friends that I've had since childhood and college, okay, so I'm the friend that everybody comes and vents to and talks to about their life and can just like pour everything into. And hey, I'll be there and I'll give you amazing advice. But if stuff is going down with me, y'all, I cannot tell y'all how I used to piss my circle off. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I used to piss my people off because they would be like, why we gotta go on YouTube to know what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why the fuck we gotta check your story to know what's going on with you? Like, how come you just don't call? How come you just don't text? Because I used to not be that person. Like, I used to just like, well, whatever. And I'm one of those people, like, I'm like a lazy millennial, right? I wasn't doing it to shade my loved ones. I wasn't doing it to say fuck you to them, really. Really, I wasn't. I'm just like, well, we all following each other anyway. And so I'm just doing my thing over here. So, bop, now everybody know. Such trash. Like, and it's Like, I am just very grateful to have the friends, to have the people in my circle that I do have. I'm so grateful to have the people that I do have in my life, because y'all know me, y'all understand me, y'all are very patient with me, and y'all are so loving and understanding of me, to where it's like, that's just Kelly. She's just gonna do her, but we know. Like, you know, but yeah, I used to get on my people's nerves, because like they would feel like I was treating them like fans, and like that's not what I mean to do, but that's how I was showing up, because that's how I was previously operating. Like, my old self concept used to be such shit. And it was awful, because I used to have such negative self-talk. So not only am I like sus of everything, dude, oh God, this type of shit used to be real bad when I would have jobs and stuff, and when I would be working. And I'm gonna be very, very honest. When my channel started growing, I'm one of those channels, like, I caught quick growth, but then I caught quick downfall as well. So it was just all quick. So within the matter of like a few years, my head is like fucking spinning, right? Dude, I'm one of those people that used to be, if I achieve something, right? It's like, okay, quick celebration. When the fuck are you gonna get this one? When the fuck are you gonna get the next one? Like, literally, like, so fucking mean to myself. Like, for example, what was it? I think I hit like, I think I hit like some milestone on YouTube. I'm gonna just say I hit like 20K subscribers, right? And like one time I hit 20K, and I was like, when you gonna get 25K? You take it long. Like, literally, like my own self-concept is like fucking beating my ass, and I can't even be happy for 10 seconds because I hit fucking, 20K or whatever. Like, I deserve this moment. It doesn't matter how many fucking, like, what, like, I deserve to be happy. But no, old self-concept, old negative self-talk is like kicking my ass, right? I used to be one of those people that when I would achieve things, and even when I was in late college, like when I got my degrees, like to my, because I think I got my last degree, I believe I was 26 or 27. That's when I got my second degree. 26 or 27, I believe. And I remember when I got it, I was like, well, too bad you're not thinking about fucking, like, I'm literally at graduation, and like my brain is like, too bad you're not thinking about doing a master's program. Your dad would really like it if you did a master's program. He wants you to get your master's. You should get your master's. Why did you get your master's? And it's like, I'm literally at fucking graduation, and like, literally, like, when I got my second degree, my entire family was happy. Like, my whole family was there. They were happy. Like, my dad sobbing happy, like so happy. And then here I am. Oh, and you're gonna get your fucking master's. Like, bro. And like, it's like this statement, right? Because it's so interesting, because I reflect at who I was operating as and how I was showing up and who I used to be, right? Like, I reflect on that shit, right? And like, when I reflect on it, you know how they say a person who's good at talking shit is good at it because can't nobody talk shit to them, or, about them, like how they talk shit to themselves? That shit's true. And I'm thinking about it because, I used to be in the reaction community. And even though like I had my good intentions for that community, it quickly like turned super toxic. And like, I know a lot of you guys used to like my like witty reactions and all that. But like, to be honest, if I'm not reacting for like a cause or covering, a topic that I find near and dear to where I can be, just like not only compassionate, but strategic with my message and actually uplifting, then I don't do it. And honestly, like now that I'm doing the mindset and like the traumatized girly content, like this is just like my focus, right? Like there's nothing more that I want than to help others, right? But like, dude, it's so serious because I used to shit talk myself. I used to be one of those people, I take forever to get dressed and used to never know what the fuck I was gonna wear because I didn't like anything. And I would have like, it's so crazy. Like and y'all know how I am. Like I've always have had like an overabundance of clothing, shoes, all that. Like I'm, that kind of a girl. But like nothing would make me happy because I wasn't happy with myself. And like, even when I would have bouts of happiness, like, yes, I would have moments of happiness. Like I'm still like a human being, but like they would always be fleeting. Like happiness in those moments, and when I was operating that low self-concept, it was not lasting. And I would get frustrated at the outside world, thinking that it was the outside world making me unhappy, when really I needed to seriously go within and do some serious work to get to the root of like some beliefs, some resistance, and all that shit, to just be content and at peace. And even though it took work to get here, I promise you it was worth it. Because I mean, I used to be one of those people that woke up in the morning and dreaded it, especially when I was working. Oh my God. I used to be one of those people that, oh God, oh, it's going to drag today. Da-da-da. And it's like you wake up and you're setting the tone for your day. And like, I'm literally already like speaking against myself. And I don't know if you all remember that short that I did, where I talk about how speaking against yourself is like so unnecessary. It's like, don't do that. Don't do that shit. Like, do not do that to yourself. Don't go out here and like curse your life. Don't wake up and say, oh, today's going to be a drag. Oh, this is going to suck. Oh, I know how this is going to go. Oh, the same old thing. Oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, I never have enough money. Oh, my fucking boyfriend's probably going to fucking leave me today. Like shit like that. You're speaking against yourself. You're cursing your life. Our words, our thoughts, our being, we have power. We speak things into existence for a reason. So why on earth are we speaking against ourselves? Why on earth are we thinking against ourselves? Why on earth are we dwelling in such low self-concepts that we can't even be happy for fucking 20 goddamn seconds without thinking, well, what you gonna do next? And how come you haven't said good enough? The fuck? Like, I really reflect on that. I really reflect. That is one of the things I reflect on so much now. Because it's like I feel so separated from it, right? Like I feel, because I've been, operating like this for a while now. It's been like a good while. It's been several months. At least, I would say at least, shit. No, I was pregnant. It's been a while. It's been a while. But like, dude, like, oh God, like I've been operating this way for like a long time. I guess maybe a year then, maybe a little over a year. I can't remember. All I remember is being pregnant and being not pregnant, being a mama. But oh, kind of like the truth, right? Yeah, that's all I remember. But seriously, it's like I look back at that old self-concept and I'm like, dude, this shit was so shitty. And when I finally, started really doing this mindset work and doing my meditations and regulating my nervous system through a lot of the resistance that I was feeling towards, certain, circumstances and people, I realized that I had a lot of fear around being, like literally just being. Like I had a lot of fear of just simply existing, to where I was subconsciously in my previous, state, I was subconsciously getting ready to build myself up a life of just me and like I don't know what the fuck I was doing. And I know that our subconscious like is out here like be trying to protect us. And I understand that even as a traumatized girlie, like, obviously it's been damaged from some of the traumas. But I don't know why a person who had already been through so much, who had already been traumatized so much, I don't know why a person like myself, in that self-concept, I had already been through so much. I had already overcame so many things to where I was beginning to set my life up in a way to where it was just going to be literally just me and nothing, no one else. And that would just be it. And somehow I would lie to myself and say that that's okay, even though that's not what I wanted. I was setting myself up for ultimate isolation, like ultimate. And it's like, I look back at that now and that's actually terrifying, because that's the complete fucking opposite of what I want. And when you operate in those low self-concepts and, you're like your worst enemy, honestly, when you're operating that lowly, when you're always like thinking against self and talking against self, that's what you're setting yourself up for. utter misery, dude. And then you're going to wonder why, quote unquote, life isn't going your way. Because what does living like that do? Make you frustrated. But then what are you doing? You're focusing more on the frustration, because remember, your focus and your awareness and your identity shape your reality. So the more you get frustrated, the more you dwell in a negative self-concept, the more you dwell on negativity, the more you curse your life, the more you talk down upon yourself, the more you talk down upon others in your life, whether you're with them or not. The more you do all of this shit, the more you manifest that shit for the ultimate negative, and it's going to be everything you never wanted. And I say never wanted. And you're going to be pissed because you're going to be so far removed internally from what you wanted, meaning you're going to have to realign your whole energy. You're going to have to realign your whole being with what you really desire out here. And you're going to have to figure out what that connection is, because how in the hell are you going to be this high self-concept, living best life person when you dwelling down here beyond the goddamn flames? Okay? Like, how are you going to be doing that? And to think and to realize that I used to be this way. I have so much empathy and compassion for myself, so I could never say I feel ashamed or whatever. I could never speak down about self ever again, because I do indeed love myself and I deserve so much better. And I'm so proud of myself for giving myself better and allowing myself to be, because oh my God, I don't even know. And that's the thing. That's what's so scary. Like, a lot of that was subconscious. I was subconsciously sabotaging really, really meaningful areas of my life. I was subconsciously sabotaging my overall self. And see, when we hear and we talk about self-sabotage, some people think about it's like, oh, you're spiraling into like addiction. No, I've never had addiction issues. Some people think that self-sabotage is like maybe, dropping out of school or whatever. Well, obviously I graduated. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people think self-sabotage is like quitting a job and never re-entering the workforce. No, I've worked several jobs and I've actually built several references. It can be so self-conscious to where you might not notice it until you start doing this kind of work. And then you start to realize the path you're going down. Because sometimes when you do this kind of work, what's making you seek a manifestation channel or a mindset channel or like a self-development channel or whatever, what's making you seek that is a want and need to do better. And you are just desperately wanting something to change positively and you're unsure. Like, because your subconscious has like wreaked havoc on your whole life because of how you previously have been identifying and operating, that like you feel like, okay, well, is this really out of my control, or is it too late to save my own life? Well, we have always been our own saviors. We have also always been our own saboteurs. It's really always been us. And so it's like understanding the ways of operating that work more in our benefit than against us. Because just as much as I could curse my life and talk all this shit and talk about how I hate everything and everyone, like, y'all remember who the fuck I am and who I used to be. I used to fucking put I hate everything on literal merch. Okay, so it's like, imagine what my life reflected when I did that shit. Okay, y'all were just watching from the outside, and imagine, just imagine what my day-to-day could have been. And whatever you're imagining, it's probably true, because I was utterly miserable during those points of my life, right? And I didn't even realize the points of self-sabotage that I was doing, all because it was out of pain and fear and not feeling like I was enough, and my lack of self-love and my lack of self-validation and my lack of even self-understanding, to where I was going to live this horrendously isolated life for what? No fucking reason. Like, why would I do that to myself? And when you have an issue with kind of tracing back the why, that's when you understand it's subconscious, and there's some things that need to shift there before you get even more off track. It's so scary what we do to ourselves when we don't believe in ourselves. It's so scary what we can do to ourselves when we don't trust ourselves, when we don't love ourselves. it can manifest in multiple different ways. But just as much as it can manifest for the negative way, you can speak it in your favor anyway. You can wake up every single day and say, you know what? I know today's going to be an amazing day. You can wake up every single goddamn day and say, you know what? I know that the love of my life loves me, because why would he not? I am enough. I am deserving of like the best love in the world. I am the goddess of my reality. And that man loves every goddamn inch of my body. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can wake up and say, I know that my boss is going to, like, you know, love every bit of my work and contribution today, because I can put that effort in and I know who the fuck I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can, you know, look at your bank account like, you know what? Yep. Bop. No wonder all my money's going up every single day, because I'm that bitch. I'm abundant like that. I got that money, like, period. Like, you can start to speak and believe more in your favor the more you invest into your self-love, your self-concept, and your mindset. And to be honest, when you start there, manifesting will honestly become easy, because really all manifesting is about is just trusting in being and knowing and honestly living in your everyday reality as you, but trusting and knowing in the back of your mind that your desires are done, right? Which this is how life really should be, but for the positive. And it will be so much easier when you build yourself up, because it will all just feel natural. And it won't feel like you're trying to get anything that's outside of you, because remember, there's nothing that's ever outside of you. You can just sit and just be in your reality and flow and ebb and flow with peace, gratitude, and grace and happiness that comes from that self-fulfillment after you pour into your own cup for long enough and you continue doing so. Because that's another thing about this work. It's not just to manifest something quick. It's not just to, you know, okay, I feel better now I'm gone. This is a lifestyle. Mindset work, self-concept work, self-love work is a lifestyle. I've incorporated it into my lifestyle. Like, I have everyday routines now, and I'm probably never going to stop. And I'm just very grateful, and I am so appreciative and thankful that I have learned, and I feel like I awakened just in the nick of time to where I will be able to teach my child this, my future children this, and they will have stronger, healthier, more well-cultivated mindsets than what I had. And they damn sure won't be in their 30s figuring it out. That'll be for damn sure. You know, growing up, of course, kids may have hiccups here and there, but I tell you one thing, they ain't about to, you know, go out there and subconsciously isolate themselves in a damn box. I tell you that. They ain't gonna be that bad off, okay? You know what I'm saying? But for real, it's like, you know, I say that joking, but it's like, it's real out here, because people live years in their limiting beliefs. People live years in their low self-concepts. People live years in these low vibrational states that just honestly destroy everything. And then they feel like that there's something that they can do, and they want to give up, and they don't want to exist anymore. And really, the truth is within them this whole time. They just need to see it and love themselves through it, to where they can accept themselves for who they are fully and embrace that and just move forward with that love, that courage, that knowing, and that confidence that they are who the fuck they are. And all of their desires that are on their heart will obviously come to them, because they're embodying that person who already has it. And as a person who's finally made it to that other side as well, all I can say is I'm so grateful, and I can really hope that this video like resonates with you, because you do not have to keep living in a shitty self-concept. You really don't. Keep loving yourself, trust yourself, and start speaking, knowing, and thinking in your favor, because more is actually working out for you than you're even aware of. And I hope you can become more aware of all the beautiful things working out for you after this video. So I hope that resonated with you. And I will see you all in the next one.